Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe, here from my co-host Stan.
Hello and greetings.
And we are now going to be discussing, this time with Fantasy Talks, the Age of Despair a little. Now, in Dragonlance, the Age of Despair is a extended dark age after the fall of Istar. Great time period. We're going to be reading more about it soon and doing a book club of it because why the heck not? It's ripe. I mean, the King Priest trilogy and the Legends trilogy are classics for a reason. But there's a problem. Now, we know that there's a lot that goes down, and especially with the Feast on Tantalus stuff. We have references to a lot of stuff that happens in the Chronicles, like in the character backgrounds and whatnot. But why the heck do we never get a novel set in the Age of Despair before the War of the Lance? Sorry. I know that came out loud. Because I'm freaking annoyed. We should have gotten, come on. It's a dark age when Solamnic knights and mages are being hunted down like cattle. This is right for great stories.
That's at least 12 books right there.
Yeah, because you could do it on a Solamnic knight when he starts off as a squire. Maybe he's squiring for someone and the guy is hung for being a knight and he has to try to survive. There, you have a novel. Then maybe his grandson or something has to withstand a siege. You could have done an entire, almost Redwallian thing of, all right, this family survives. Just them surviving the first few years of the Age of Despair, and then getting into the family over the course of the generations. But the thing is, we don't get stuff like that. We only get maybe one book. Well, book trilogy of sorts, the Legends. We don't really get too much stuff. We get the odd short story here and there, but not much. And most of it's related to the War of the Lance, which, hey, I love the War of the Lance. But let's get into prequel stuff. Let's get into... let's have a novel about Sturm's dad. Heck, let's have a novel about, Lord Gunther. His youth. Let's have a novel about Lord Gunther's dad. Wait, why Lord Gunther's dad? Why not? Let's have a novel about Flint's dad. You want to fill up all that? Yes! It's right for the plucking. This is fantasy. You're supposed to fill all these holes up. But we have almost 200 to 300 years of... So, there's the Dwarf Gate Wars. Okay. The elves flee further into the forests. Okay. Stuff happens. Stuff goes down. What stuff? Tell me what stuff. And I want that lore filled up. But it was never filled up. And that's a big problem. Because it feels like there's a whole lot of nothing that goes down.
Instead of focusing 6 more books on the heroes of the Lance, when we've pretty much seen that they've written everything they could and then some about the heroes.
Some of them.
Focus on other things.
True. The problem is we don't have enough lore about that period. And the thing is, I don't just want lore that's referenced in the War of the Lance. I want the lore, just for its own sake. Okay, so I've got a lot of different ideas for all across these different ages of my world that I'm writing in serial format and wrote in Substack. And the thing is, I've got all these different novels and stories, and there's quite a few I'm even working with Dan on. But, for example, I have plans for a cozy fantasy story. Once all these current crops of stories are finished, I have plans for a cozy fantasy story. Why? I just want to explore the day-to-day life of my Cambodians. That is to say, my kobolds. I just want to, for example, have a story about let's say, a group of Wolframs journeying north from the Kingdom of Volanta. That's my Jex the Hero story. So, like, I've got these non-human stories, and I'm going to be expanding on them. Most of the current stories are all humans. But I'm going to be expanding into the non-human races and giving them a lot of stories and lore and whatnot. But I'm doing it across various ages, just for fun. But I want to fill up every age with a novel or an epic poem or 5. Why? Because why not? But see, Tolkien did all this. He filled up every era. Howard did the same thing. Oh my gosh, he did. He had so much lore. Same with Tolkien. Dragonlance had the great opportunity to fill out even more lore. Why? Well, it wasn't constrained to just one author in his lifetime. They had like dozens of authors. And, you know, they didn't fill up this massive time period. Then again, the Age of Might was not filled up completely. Same with the Age of Light. Wasn't completely filled out. I would have loved to see more. And that's the thing. Like, I do think Wizards of the Coast should have brought in more authors. Bring more people in and whatnot. But anyways, that's all the time we've got for you now. So don't forget to check out the crowdfund in the comment section, which is for publishing a book we've been editing. It has some of the best short stories you'll find on Substack. So, and you can, as far as perks go, get our books and more if you make a contribution. We'll also be including the links to our Royal Road account and our Buy Me a Coffee account. So, you know, please do contribute. And do smash that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,600 now for subscribers, so let's go.